Hello, parents. I am Jen Crum, and I'm going to be teaching IEW to your students this year, and we're going to be doing Intensive A. Now, on the binder, it may or may not say that Intensive A is geared towards students in 3 to 5th grade. You know what? That's fine. Here's the deal. That really talks about the source material that's being used for each assignment, the paragraph that they start with, and they have really easier reading levels for this one than they do for the next one. I actually have done both A and B, and in an effort to make this as an easy transition as possible for your students, I've chosen A, and then I morph into B a little bit midway through the year, but you only have to buy Intensive A. So that's how we're doing it. I definitely expect 6th and 7th grade work from your students, but this is the source that I'm using, and it's going to work well, I promise. Okay, so to show you what they're going to be learning during their first few weeks, we're going to do a lesson together. All right, it's not going to take as long as theirs will, but we're going to go ahead and do one together. So what you need is to have the pill bug source material from lesson 1, okay, and it's going to look like this, and hopefully, I don't know if you're seeing this backwards or not. I am, so there you go. So you'll want to have the pill bug source material, and you will also want to have 2 sheets of lined paper and your favorite pen, okay? So we're going to go ahead and get started. Now the first thing I did on my paper, which is a little whiteboard, is to write pill bugs up at the very top, okay? And then I numbered 1 space, 2 space, 3, and so on, okay? Your students should be keeping 1 blank line in between every line of their writing, okay? And that goes for whether or not they're writing on paper or they're typing directly into the computer. If they would like to do their keyword outlines and their rough drafts directly into the computer, I have no problem with that. One of my students does that here at the house as well. But either way, you want things double spaced so that there's a line in between for them to make corrections and editing and that kind of thing. Okay? So we are going to start by reading the pill bug source material. It's really thrilling. All right. Pill bugs are common backyard inhabitants around the world. They are called pill bugs because when they are disturbed, they roll into a ball like an old-fashioned pill. The sow bug is a close relative. It looks similar but is a little flatter and cannot roll itself up. Pill bugs are actually crustaceans like crabs or lobsters. Just like these underwater crustaceans, they breathe through gills instead of lungs. The gills, located on the underside of the pill bug, must be kept slightly moist. That's why you usually find these animals in damp places. Ugh, close. Okay, so this is the material we have to work with. All right, so what we're going to do is take a look at that first sentence again, and what we're going to do is pick out 3 key words to write down on our keyword outline that we will then use to make our own paragraph, okay? So what 3 words would you want from that first sentence to be able to recreate your own sentence, okay, if you were leaving notes for yourself? So think about that. If you need to, pause while you write yours down, and then I'm going to write mine down. So the sentence says, pill bugs are common backyard inhabitants around the world. So I'm writing down mine. Okay, so I wrote down common backyard, and then world, okay? Now, if you looked at the teacher's notes, you will see that they recommend common backyard and inhabitants. 6 of one, half dozen of the other. The choice is yours. Okay? I think I'm going to remember the word inhabitants just fine. I like to know that they are everywhere and I cannot get away from them. All right? Your student may prefer inhabitants. Doesn't matter. All right? Both of those words are descriptive and helpful for rewriting a new sentence. Okay? Let's move on to sentence number 2. Remember, leaving a space, one line in between before we do line number 2. All right, so the sentence is, they are called pill bugs because when they are disturbed, they roll into a ball like an old-fashioned pill. What 3 words would you choose to be able to recreate that? And you're going to hear me say 3 words. I don't want 2 words, typically. And I don't want 4 or 5 because you're getting too much of the sentence that way. Really have them practice, and you practice, just picking 3 words. Okay? Oh, and we already know that we're working on a whole subject matter called pill bugs. So do you think that we need to use pill bugs as one of our words? Nope, don't use it. We already know that's what we're working on. Focus on other words instead. Okay, I chose disturbed, roll, and ball. Now, I think the teacher's notes may say disturbed, roll, and pill. Again, either way is fine. I remember that we're working on something called pill bugs. I think I'll remember the pill thing. If your student would rather have it say pill instead of ball, that's all good too. Again, leaving a line in between 2 before we go on to 3. Sentence number 3 is, the sow bug is a close relative. Ooh, there's so much to choose from. What will it be? Okay, go ahead and give me 3 words. Okay, so this sentence actually is really good for pointing out a couple things. The sow bug is a close relative. Okay, do we need to use words that are articles? The, an, a? Nope, not really. Is? Not really. That, while it's a verb of being, and it's not overly helpful for recreating the sentence. Okay, so I, just like you, chose sow bug, close relative. It's going to be hard to recreate, right? No. Okay, skip a line. Number 4. It looks similar, but is a little flatter and cannot roll itself up. Okay, so this one brings in a really cool thing as well. While I want you to keep to 3 words, you can do some symbols, like the no or not sign. Okay, you can put a word and draw a circle around it and put the line through it, or you can just do that for not or something like that, but that doesn't count as a word. When you write numbers, 1, 2, 3, 12, 26, those numbers don't count as words when we're doing our outlines. Okay, so this it looks similar but is a little flatter and cannot roll itself up. What 3 words would you choose? Okay, I chose flatter, cannot roll up. Okay, number 5, I'm turning over to the next side of my whiteboard, and I'm going down a, nope, I'm not going down a row because I left one on the other side. So I'm going to start up at the top. Number 5, the sentence reads, pill bugs are actually crustaceans like crabs or lobsters. Again, there's not a ton of words to choose from, which makes it really nice and easy for your students to get used to the process. Okay? So, what 3 words are you going to choose? It's at this point where I should also point out that spelling is not the class that we are in or what I am teaching. Okay? I will spell things wrong on the board. I may even spell things wrong here tonight. Okay? And if your students spell things wrong, that's okay. I really hope they're close. The computer and word processing programs will help with that because they'll underline things that are not spelled correctly. Have them look up the correct word. Okay? I have one student in my house, God bless that one's heart, cannot spell yet very well, and we're working on it, but the computer totally helps with that. Okay, so number 5, my 3 words: crustaceans, crabs, lobsters. Again, super tough to pick which ones we're going to do. Sentence number 6, just like these underwater crustaceans, they breathe through gills instead of lungs. So what 3 words are you going to choose? Remember, leave a line before number 6. Okay, so I chose breathe, gills, and not lungs. Okay, and that's how I'll remember that they're not using the lungs, they are using gills. Okay, last one, number 7. So I'm skipping my line and putting my 7 right there. And this is a long one. The gills, located on the underside of the pill bug, must be kept slightly moist. That's why you usually find these animals in damp places. Again, bleh. Okay, what 3 words? This is a tougher one because there's so many words in it. Okay, I am choosing underside, moist, and damp. I did draw a line up to gills. I don't know that it's wrong. I don't know that it's right, but I'm drawing a line. Okay? So I don't have a problem with arrows and that kind of thing being used. Not overly, but a little bit. Okay? So now we have a keyword outline for your student to work with. The next step in this process is to go ahead and put away the pill bug source material. So that's going to go in the section called, I believe, outlines. Yep, that's going to go in outlines. Okay, so put that one away with a fresh sheet of paper. Your student is going to begin writing or rewriting from their notes. Okay, so they're going to use a different sheet of paper. I don't have one to use, so I'm going to go ahead and just turn mine over and come down here and write pill bugs. And down here, I'm going to start my paragraph because I'm leaving a line, and then I can start here. Okay, so our first keyword outline line said common backyard world. Okay, so it talked about pill bugs being common backyard inhabitants all around the world. Okay, so that's what I'm going to write. It's going to sound remarkably like the initial paragraph that we were using because these paragraphs, again, are at a very easy reading level. That's how it's going to work for a little bit. The source material is going to get more challenging, and their paragraphs are going to get to vary a little more. But for now, it's great practice. All right, so go ahead and start writing your first sentence. Pill bugs are common backyard Um, inhabitants around the world. Okay, so I run into a little problem right away because I've run out of room. Okay, this is why you should have a new sheet of paper. My title is up here, pill bugs, and then I begin. Pill bugs are common backyard. I tried to leave a line and keep going. Inhabitants around the world. Okay, but you want to have that space in between there so that your student can edit, add things, scribble around, and make adjustments. Okay. The next sentences I'm going to go ahead and just say out loud so you get an idea of how it works. But I'm not going to be writing them down because obviously I've run out of room. Okay? So for sentence number 2, my keyword outline says disturbed roll ball. Okay, so when the pill bugs are disturbed, they roll up into a ball. That's how they got their name. Okay, so when the pill bugs are disturbed, they roll into a ball. Sentence number 3, sow bug, close relative. Okay, this again, that was that really hard one. The sow bug is a close relative. It's really simple. Okay, number 4, flatter does not roll up. So the sow bug is flatter but cannot roll into a ball. Okay. Now, one other thing that your student is going to be getting to do is adding something called dress ups. And the first dress up that they're going to work on is the who which. Okay? So their job is to add who or which to a sentence or combine 2 sentences using who or which. We use who when we're talking about people or something with human-like characteristics. So if a dog is animated and is acting like a person, like the underdog character or something like that, that you would use who for. If it's a animal or inanimate object, like a chair, you would say which. Okay, so sentences 3 and 4 are perfect for combining and using who or which. Our pill bugs, the sow bug is not being given human-like characteristics right now, so we're going to say which. So I would say the sow bug, which is a close relative, is flatter and cannot roll up into a ball. And there you have it. We just added a dress up, made our writing a little more interesting, and combined 2 kind of short sentences that seemed slightly redundant. Okay. Number 5, crustaceans, crabs, lobsters. My sentence would be something along the lines of, pill bugs are actually crustaceans like crabs and lobsters. Number 6, breathe, gills, not lungs. Like their crustacean relatives, pill bugs breathe through gills, not lungs. Your student may simply write, the pill bug breathes through gills and not lungs. That's totally okay. All right? And then the last one, underside, moist, damp. Underside, moist, and damp. And then that's where mine switches over to be something else. Okay? So I would write, the pill bug's gills are found on the underside and need to stay moist, which is why you will find them in damp places. Okay? Is it the best paragraph in the world? No. But did we just get it done really fairly quickly without a lot of sweat, hopefully? And you can kind of see the process. Okay? Now, when it comes to your student, I will expect that they do their keyword outline on 1 sheet of paper, that they do their rough draft, what I began down there but ran out of room for, on